I'm Joe LaGilia, and on this episode of Not Your Average Joe, powered by Mortgage Message, we're talking with Tommy Brooks of Eagle Scout Troop 13 of Plainfield, Illinois, and his brand new food pantry in North Plainfield. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Not Your Average Joe show, powered by the Mortgage Message platform. My name is Joe LaGilia, and today I'm joined with Mr. Tommy Brooks of Eagle Scout Troop 13 of Plainfield, Illinois. Tommy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I really am excited to get into how we met. But before I do that for our audience, I just would like to kind of have you give them a little bit of an idea of kind of who you are in the community, where you go to school, what type of hobbies or activities are you a part of. Would just love everybody to kind of get an idea of who you are first.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Tommy Brooks. I go to Plainfield North High School in Plainfield, Illinois. I'm a senior there, so this is my fourth year. Some of my hobbies, I play football at the school there. I'm involved in several different clubs and activities. I love to, outside of school, I like to hunt and fish and camp with my family in the summers. And I really enjoy helping out my community as well.
So great, man. So great. So I want to kind of set the stage for my audience. January of 2020, just weeks before the world as we knew it changed, a young man by the name of Tommy Brooks walks into the Plainfield Lions Club meeting and presents to, I think, a group of about 40 Lions members an idea that you had to want to put together a food bank in North Plainfield. From that moment, kind of take us to that scene of just the idea leading up to that, and we're going to talk about past that, but just talk about that moment for you when you kind of introduced this idea to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. It was it was definitely a super stressful time. I was a young kid, and I was very nervous to go about the Plainfield Lions Club because exactly it was 40 people, all watching me at the same time. But it went really well, and I presented my idea, which was exactly a Plainfield food pantry for North Plainfield, and I really got the idea started with Joette Doyle, and she actually started the Plainfield Food Pantry South. And so I contacted her, and we set the date, and we set the location of where the next micro food pantry we would like to be. And the last thing we had to do was funding, and so that was with the Plainfield Lions Club and their generous donation for the materials of the Plainfield Micro Food Pantry North. And it turned out very well.
So I want to kind of go a couple steps before that moment and kind of talk about, was this motivated through, the Eagle Scout Troop? Was this motivated through kind of a serving idea that you wanted to bring to the community? Was it all the above? But where did the inspiration come for this idea?
Yeah, and I think it really came from myself,
Yeah.
Honestly, because, a lot of people get the misconception that North Plainfield, everyone has a ton of money, and that's just not true. And I see it even in my high school. We actually have this giving tree in the Christmas, and kids from our very own community who are struggling to, their families are struggling to put food on the table for them and struggling to get them Christmas presents. And this was something that really broke my heart, and I really took it to heart as well. And I needed to make a change in the community. And so I thought, what better way to have a micro food pantry open 24/7, 365 days a year, anytime, where these people in our community can get the help that they need.
I was fascinated at the timing of all of this, and I can only imagine you must have been as well. Weeks before the pandemic hit the world and certainly our country, kind of talk about, if you will, how that timing affected you as far as the presentation of this in the community, and then obviously what came thereafter.
Yeah, and I think it was perfect timing, and I don't think it's something that any of us could have called for. I mean, January of 2020, I don't think anybody could guess what would happen in the next following months. But I think it was actually perfect timing because, COVID hit and everyone, I think, was down financially. And so what better time, obviously, to have that micro food pantry available. And the dedication and construction all being in February of 2020. And then March, the coronavirus hit. So, everyone was down financially, and it was hard to get food at some times. So what what perfect timing, I would say, for the community to have that pantry available.
I love it. I love it. From the construction side of it, you got me wondering, was that all you? Were there people that came together with you to put that together?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the requirement is actually leading scouts to construct the pantry. So I personally did very minimal. I was more of the leader per se behind the whole construction. So I actually had a bunch of friends from my troop, a couple of older scouts come in, and they really were the ones who put it together. I was just the one instructing them how to do it, where to put this screw, how to paint this. So we all got together on a chilly February morning in my garage, and we got to work and swinging hammers and screwing screw guns, and we got it all put together in about 4 hours.
So great. When you think about the last 12 months or so, and you think about having the type of traffic at that food pantry, kind of talk about what did that look like, and replenishing the food pantry. What does that look like for you, just with you being hands-on with it?
Yeah, and it was absolutely amazing. The day after the dedication, I went back that morning to see what had happened, and the pantry was almost completely empty. So I was just, I was really overwhelmed and really proud of myself because from the very first day, the pantry was successful. And that was the one thing I was a little bit worried about through the planning and construction. Like, how was the community going to find out about this? But from the very first day, it just absolutely took off, and I was really astonished at the productivity of the pantry. And day in and day out, every day it's getting used, and I check it personally about once or twice a week. And every time I go, there's more food and supplies taken out of it, and so we really try to keep it full. And we actually have a Facebook page for it, so we post on there if we need more help from the community. But I have to give a shout out to our community; they've been absolutely fantastic with keeping the pantry clean and keeping it stocked, because that's really the method behind this pantry, is that it's fed by the community and used by the community. So it's a great location for anyone who has maybe a little extra food to go ahead and donate to the pantry, and it's also a great place for people who don't have as much food to take from the pantry. So it's really a full circle experience in our community. And also we rely a lot on donations. Sometimes great donations from the Plainfield Lions Club and some other private donors. We use that money gratefully to stock the pantry whenever it's really low and wherever we need it. So that's about the basis behind that.
And thank you for sharing that, because I think that, so much of the reason why we want to lift you up on this show is to get the word out and to have people aware that if there is a little extra to go around, that there's a pantry to be able to support. And for the sake of location, just share with everybody where the pantry is located.
Yes, the pantry is located at 11850 Illinois Route 59. It's right at the Keller Williams facility. It's in between Keller Williams and CC's Pizza. There's a little driveway there, and it's located on the north side of the building. And it's there, so for anyone who needs it, please do use it.
So, Tommy, it's such a great example. You've inspired so many, specifically through the Lions Club. We talk about you all the time, and I think we said to you, as soon as you're ready to become a member, we're ready to have you. But really in that vein, when you think about your generation looking to kind of have the torch passed to them of carrying on this service-orientated type approach to the community, what would you say to somebody out there, whether it be a young man or a young lady your age, or even an adult who's inspired watching this interview to do something? What would you say that you've learned from this experience, or what are some of the things you're still learning from this experience?
Yeah, well, first of all, the one piece of advice I have to say is, if you see something wrong in your community, in your family, it's so important to act and do something about it. Rather than just keep passing it along, because a lot of people have the mentality that, someone else will fix this problem, and a lot of the times it doesn't happen. So it's really important to take that responsibility upon yourself and to make a change. And as far as things that I've learned, it's a list of extensive qualities that I could go on for hours and hours and talk about it. But if I were to pick one, it would definitely be just my leadership skills. I think being able to start this basically by myself, from everything from the planning to the construction to the dedication and even servicing it now. I'm extremely proud of myself and everyone in my community of how far we've came since the first original blueprint of the pantry came. And came about, and now it's full functioning, and it's actually making a difference in my community. So I couldn't be more proud of myself and all the members of my community keep fueling the pantry each and every day.
So great, so great. So Tommy, senior, Plainfield North, the world in front of you. What's the future hold for you, sir?
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking at colleges now, and I think the pandemic has slowed down the process quite a bit because it was quite an unfortunate time to be a senior in high school, I would have to say. You can't exactly visit all the colleges that you want. You can't exactly, be face-to-face with other people. So you do a lot of your research online, and so I do think I'm going to go to a 4-year college in the future, and I'm really excited to see wherever I go what the difference I can make in that community is, even outside the Plainfield community, what I can make a difference there.
Well, we're rooting for you. We'll be watching. You got to make sure you keep us connected to that journey. Tommy, my last question for you. This show is all about real community heroes. And I want to close with this question for you. In your life, who's your hero?
That's an easy question for me. I'm gonna say my mother. Just because she's there for me through the thick and thin, and she's the first one to be there to support me. She's at all of my football games. She picks me up from practice when I couldn't drive, and she's always just been the real building base in my life, and she loves me and supports me through everything, and I'd have to say my mom.
So great. Shout out to you, Mrs. Brooks. We appreciate you for having this amazing son in our community. And to our audience, thank you for joining us for our first episode of the Not Your Average Joe Show. If you have a hero in your life, we'd love to hear from you. Please submit their story and hopefully have them on the show one day so we can showcase them as well. My name is Joe LaGilia. We'll see you on the next episode of Not Your Average Joe. Take care, everyone.